Let's join him now. We have Brian Krallis. Did I say that right?
You did. Perfect.
Yay! On the line with us to talk about some cybercrime. Okay, this blew my mind, Brian, when I saw a headline that said how a 7-year-old girl hacked a public Wi-Fi network in minutes. And I went, what?
I'm actually so glad that what a brilliant idea, because it's something I've been clamoring for a while, and I think people maybe of our generation seem to think that hackers can only be some brilliant group of people, in Monte Carlo, Europe, doing this crazy, hacking things, and we just can't contemplate it. There's no way that it could happen in my backyard. And when you really look at the major hacks that have happened over the past 6 months, a year, almost all of them have either been simple passwords, so using simple passwords like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting in that way, or the popular belief is that even with the Sony, it was something similar to this. So basically, what they're saying, for those that don't understand computers, is if you're in Starbucks, somebody could easily use their cell phone as a hotspot, a place to join on, but they could call their cell phone Starbucks One. So when you go in there to grab your coffee and you're sitting down, you think Starbucks One is the Starbucks Wi-Fi, when in fact, it's somebody's cell phone Wi-Fi, and now you get onto your private accounts, your bank account, your email, everything that's important to you, and they now can log on to those apps whenever they want.
That is so dirty, and it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense.
It's incredibly easy. The point about this article was basically an 8-year-old did this in like 10 minutes, and it's so easy, and it doesn't require a PhD or some brilliant IQ. It's just a simple way to trick people, and so people are getting onto public Wi-Fi, and they're thinking it's the entity in which they're there for, when in fact they're jumping on somebody else's hotspot, giving away all their secrets.
Well, and so just buy a bigger data package so you can just use your data when you're at Starbucks. Oh, okay, what about those people that, this might be a silly question, but I don't know the answer. What about those people that buy that Verizon card, or they bring their own sort of little network? Is that safe?
Yes. First of all, that's tremendously safer. What I would recommend, 2 things. The the 2 things to protect yourself. Use passwords that are difficult to replicate. You can look on any website, do a search on most popular passwords. Most of them are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like baseball. They're super easy passwords, and people will have these software programs that will regenerate passwords, the most common, and get onto people's accounts. That's number 1. Get a password that's unique and hard to replicate. Number 2 is do not get onto public Wi-Fi and go to a private site. If you want to get on public Wi-Fi, that's fine. Just search at Yahoo or whatever things you want to search, but don't get onto anything private. If you're going to get on a private account, make sure it's on a secure Wi-Fi, something that has your security on it, your password specific to get on.
Well, that story came out last week, I think it was, with all of the ridiculous passwords. People still use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, haven't we learned better than? How often should you change your passwords to everything?
The recommendation is about every 90 days. Here's where it gets difficult. Right?
I'm never going to do it every 90 days.
Probably not. But here's where it gets problematic, right? If we all have like 20 passwords, right?
Yeah.
And so oftentimes we use the same passwords for the same account. The problem is we'll use a password, let's say for an account we use at work and we really don't care about. So we're sitting at Starbucks and we got on the account that we really don't care about, right? And we use that password. Well, now somebody's going to say, well, let me just try that password against an account that they might care about. And so oftentimes our passwords end up being the same. That's when you think about the celebrities, the pictures that got hacked.
Yeah.
That was not a big sophisticated hack job. Basically what the hackers did is they guessed passwords, and that's how they retrieved their pictures.
That's crazy.
So, again, changing your passwords, not getting on public Wi-Fi, on secure networks, things that you don't want others to see, just 2 basic things you can do to protect yourself.
Well, Brian Krallis, VP of Healthcare, you're with one of those big top 20 most powerful cloud companies in the world. That's pretty cool.
Well, thank you. It's a fun place to be. It's a lot of changes constantly. And so whatever we can do to kind of help the public on these little things, we'd love to help.
Okay, so thanks to all of those companies who now have gotten up into the up and up, and they're like, we have Wi-Fi for you. It's not cool anymore because none of us want to use it because we're going to get hacked.
Again, they can use it. just do basic searches. Just
Right.
don't get on Wi-Fi and look at your bank account. Don't get on Wi-Fi and go to your personal email.
Okay.
Things like that.
So just
That's
if we're
where you
like
get hurt.
price checking at the store, we could do that.
Do some shoe shopping, do
Yeah.
some shoe shopping, little tie shopping, whatever
been
makes
there.
you happy, that type of thing.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian, for joining us on KFGO today.
Hey, thanks so much. Take care.